I want to welcome everybody to one of PACE's regional events. This is our cycle. We started here last year in Princeton when we decided to have these regional events, and we're back here again in November. I want to welcome you. I'm Stuart, the CEO of PACE. I want to introduce just a couple of people here, just so you get to know them. You probably know them if you're, some of you are definitely our members. Chris Herrick, our Senior VP, is in the back, and Casey Vincent is in the back as well, and they are two staff members, and we have a very, very small staff. We're only missing one. That's not here. So we're a contact center trade and professional association with about 5 people running 240 some members and thousands of associate affiliates through our member companies. So to say the least, we're always busy. We go from event to event. I said this is our 4th one. Unfortunately, our 3rd one was in Denver 2 weeks ago, and October 29th, and it snowed. And unfortunately, we had to cancel our event where we had 70 people registered. 3 of us from staff had flown into Denver already. And the only positive you get from that is that we spent 2 days in a hotel and got a whole lot of work done because we couldn't get out. So that was nice. I want to thank all of our sponsors today for, usually we announce sponsors at the end, but none of these events that we run, whether it's our regional events or our national conference, which this year is going to be in Amelia Island, April 5th to the 8th, or our what I think is the premier compliance summit of the year in Washington. It can't happen without our sponsors and our exhibitors, and of course our attendees as well. So I want to thank Contact Center Compliance today for being a sponsor, LiveVox, NoGoBiz, and Fidel & Partners. So if you just give them a round of applause and thank you guys. I know a lot of you probably when I call or email say, oh, here he is, looking for sponsors again. It's part of the job, but it really helps. For those who are not members, let me just give you a small, real quick elevator tour of really who PACE is and the value that we deliver to our members. PACE started out as the American Teleservices Association, the ATA. Predominantly was an outbound telemarketing contact center association that really was focused on really making sure that we were able to make outbound calls, and we provided compliance to companies, compliance education and programs and certifications to let them get through that. So the FTC or the FCC and class action attorneys would be knocking at your door. We fought the do not call list. We were the ones who went to the Supreme Court. I happened to be chairman that year, and unfortunately the Supreme Court didn't accept our challenge to the do not call, so we didn't lose technically because they didn't say no, but they didn't even want to hear the case. And so over the years, with the outbound channel, depleting, there's no question it's declining. Acquisition now is mainly left to the illegal robocallers as they're trying to scam and take money from consumers and basically reducing contact rates to the lowest ever in history. Legitimate companies trying to call their customers on legitimate calls, not even sales calls, or having their calls either blocked or maybe labeled as a telemarketing or spam or scam likely. And PACE has been trying to fight that as well. We have a coalition that we formed trying to at least get a notification to who's making the call that yes, this call was blocked. So you better try to operationally figure out a way to get in touch with those customers, not necessarily through voice, maybe through email, chat, SMS. But we've also decided to move into the realm of anything about contact center operations. I took over as CEO 2 years ago. And while we had changed the name from ATA to PACE, I felt that the actual mission, the actual focus of what we were doing was still the same. People said, oh, PACE, oh, they're the ATA, oh, they're the outbound telemarketing guys. I think that's changed over the last couple of years. We not only provide the same kind of compliance that we have on the outbound side, we now provide compliance on the inbound side. Data privacy is among us. It's there. California's CCPA is going into effect in January. There's a at least 4 other states that are probably just closest sitting on the governor's desk for signature. How are you going to know what the rules are in what states? How are your agents in your contact centers going to be able to answer questions, know when to delete information, know how to send them to the brand or the company that you're representing to take care of this? This is vital. And the penalties for failure, for non-compliance are huge. So PACE has taken this up as one of our focuses from the compliance side. We're supporting a bill that Senator Rubio submitted last year, which is calling for one piece of federal legislation that would supersede any state laws. I think there's general consensus from Congress and even consumer groups that this is a better idea than having 50 state laws where you don't even know where someone's calling from because they could have a New York phone number living in California because they never changed it. So whose rules apply? How do you know where they are? This is this is really serious. This is the do not call issue of today. And on a much wider scale, because you have to know, you're holding data of a customer, you better know the rules. So PACE is supplying that. No other professional or trade association is, as a matter of course. This is not a topic that we talk about just once. We actually have a government affairs committee. We go to Washington. We talk to people about this to make sure that the contact center industry has a voice, because we are the voice. Just as an aside to this, I just got an email last night from the FCC. There's a there's a reassigned database being formed that if you are calling even your own customers, you're going to have to, this reassigned database is going to have to be used to make sure you're not calling the wrong party. The FCC has just asked us to be to be the representative of the contact center industry in the creation of that. So they recognize that we are the voice of the contact center industry. So I was really happy to get that email yesterday. We will be participating in that. So besides the compliance and the advocacy, what we've done is we've also added education. And the education is in the form of courses and certifications in some mid-level management operational titles like workforce management, supervision, coaching for success, QA. I have my own contact center for 25 years company. And my clients paid me to train my agents. They didn't pay me to train my workforce management, my QA, my supervisors. So what happened? Out of necessity, you had to raise somebody up to a new level. They were a great agent, but now I need a workforce management person or I need a supervisor. So the training went in there was really basically, this is what you have to do, not why you're doing it, not how to do it better. This is the list that you have to do, and hopefully you'll be able to complete that list. We have partnered with Benchmark Portal to create courses and then certifications for those people in the contact center. Part of them, depending on what membership level you join at, or if you're a current member now and you're not taking advantage of it, you should, because you're already paying for it. These courses are online. Your people can take them at any time. It's about 8 to 10 hours. Our board of directors review the courses. The information in the course is not only a benefit to the individual, because it gives them some kind of personal satisfaction. In an industry where, really, frankly, you don't get a whole lot of personal satisfaction when you're in a contact center. But this is something where they can. It also helps them stay longer. It cuts down on attrition, because they know you're allowing them to better themselves. And the third thing is, what they learn will help increase your productivity, your customer engagement success. So that's one of the reasons why, I think we stand out now, is that we're not just a compliance and advocacy organization anymore, although it's still a focus. And it's, like I said, data privacy today is the do not call the challenge of 2019, 20, and moving ahead. The next 2020 and 21 are going to be really, really important, because that's when most of these rules are going to be developed. In education, we also have webinars every month. One's on compliance, on a topic such as right now, because the FTC is looking at lead generation companies that are online gathering information, phone numbers, and then how that data is being used by how many companies to make calls for the same thing. So if you sign up for something, you'll get 5 calls from a mortgage company, or 10 calls from, and most of these calls are just bothersome, and they create the problem of the robocall industry. So at our Washington Summit, we had Andrew Smith, who's the head of the FTC division that actually handled this. He came to speak with us. We had a panel of experts on basically how to keep the regulators away, how to do this right. There's a right way and a wrong way to collect consent from people. So that's another focus. Because that's also a chain, because you're actually collecting the data, and how are you using that data is really the important part of it as well. And so PACE puts out best practices. We just, in conjunction with Leads Council, which is another nonprofit, we have put together a white paper on basically what are the best practices in getting consent and using that consent. So these are some of the things we do every day. And then we'll have webinars on operations. How to fight attrition, maybe more, how are you paying your agents? How do you keep them in the seats? Topics like that. And the good thing about our webinars, number one, is they're open to 1,000 people in your organization. No one has 1,000 people, and frankly, we couldn't have 1,000 people get a phone call at the same time. But they're all on our website. So all of your, up to 1,000 of your people within your company actually can access our website and to the member portal. So they can see the webinars. They're all online, both the compliance side and the operational side. And they're welcome. We have experts. We have experts talking about this, people who live it and breathe it every day that will give you tips. So that's one of the things that we've really changed. The content at these regional events, and having gone to many of these through the years, through many organizations, the content was always a little bit sketchy because it was basically, vendors would come in, they'd bring someone in, they'd talk, they'd be, it was a sales show in a way. This is not. We provide a great keynote speaker. You're going to hear from Chris Malone today. If you haven't seen him yet, he was a speaker at our ACX 19, and he actually came to Akron, Ohio, and we had a really nice event there as well. We bring in talent and we bring experts. I think the panels that we have today, the 3 panels that we have on really topical issues of today are fantastic, and this is what we do. Our chapters are not as active as they used to be, so I decided that we had to do something different because you have to spread the word. You have to increase your community. So this is our second one in Princeton. We had one in Atlanta. We had one in Akron, and then of course our ill-fated one in Denver, which is not canceled. It's postponed to I think the first week in May we're going to have it. So we offer a lot of value to both the company and also individuals, because I believe we're also a professional association. Most of our members I shouldn't say most of our members, most of our attendees, 75 to 80% of them are in the decision-making process for the companies when it comes to contact center operations, when it comes to contact center technology, when anything related. So we have a very high-end attendee list when it comes to those people. They actually are influencers. And we also offer peer-to-peer, initiatives. So we're just starting now called councils. And our first one is going to be basically, we're not exactly sure the final name, but it's a corporate council. And these will be our brand companies, the companies that either have their own in-house contact centers and/or outsource. And they will be able to once a month and maybe twice a year, hopefully, at some of our events, actually have a council where they can sit down, no selling. Sorry for the guys who are selling your services here, but you're not invited. And you'll sit down and talk about what's mutually happening in your centers, in your territory, so you can get ideas. And we all don't know everything. And one of the things PACE is trying to do is provide something that you can leave with at any one of our events. Is, you know what, I didn't know that before. Maybe this will help me. So that's the future of PACE, is that we want to provide education at the company level, at the corporate level, and at the individual level, and provide, in some cases, an open discussion on ideas that you're really not competitors, you're just trying to find information to help yourself. For those who are not members, please talk to me today. We always have deals, 20% off for anybody with attendance. If you belong to other trade associations or professional associations, I will vouch to say that I believe we offer more in a more variety way. We offer something to your compliance team, to your executive team, because we do help minimize risk in providing information. If you're a business development person, we have great networking events. And if you're a contact center operator, we're really providing, I think, top-notch information certifications. We have some of the greatest brands in the world as members now. We're increasing the membership. I think we're one of the only associations out there that actually every event that we have nationally has gotten a 10 to 15% increase in attendance. Last year ACX 19 was our highest attendance in many years, and we're going to go beyond that this year. Number one, great content. We already have our speakers. Microsoft will be talking to us. AT&T, very high up level, will be talking to us. We have 2 keynote speakers that are on the circuit, and then we think we're going to have Amazon come again to present. And that's just the general sessions. That doesn't include all of the sessions on customer experience, customer engagement, operations and compliance that we're going to have. And that will be also filled with top-notch experts, people who can actually teach you something. So when you leave, it's not just for the networking social events like the Armored Deer race that we had last year, if you were at ACX 19 in San Antonio, because our networking events are the best. Everything is contained. We don't let you go out and, we give you time to go out, but we always have events that are really fun, and it's a good networking, branding opportunity to get to know people. This year it's in Amelia Island, Florida. I haven't been to the resort, but Casey and Chris have, and it's beautiful, and it's right on the beach. So see me if you want, talk to me about membership. Again, it'll be well worth it. As someone who was in the contact center business for way too long, I entered this industry in 1977. Some of you probably weren't even born yet. Don't tell me that. I know what this organization has done. I was a board member. I grew my business through ATA and then through PACE, and I know what we deliver. And I venture to say you're not going to get that anywhere else. So with that, unless there's any questions about PACE itself, I'd be happy to answer.